Hey guys, so welcome to something new that I'm doing for once on the BevRants channel, and this is Drunken Rambles, as you might have guessed by the name of it. Drunken Rambles, the idea behind it is that basically we have a drink and we'll obviously spend about 15-20 minutes discussing that. We drink, we smoke, we do whatever we want, but do it together. I mean, you know, pause this video, pour yourself a drink, and then come back, because honestly, I'm so much better when you're drinking. Trust me. So this is completely unedited as well. This goes out as it is recorded. So if there is half an hour of silence, you will get half an hour of silence. I have no idea how long these videos are. I don't put myself to a time limit. I don't do anything. And this is just completely how I am in person. The reason that I'm doing this sort of thing is because I've had quite a lot of people recently that say, oh my god, you know, like, you never stop talking when you're drunk, and, you know, you talk about all these sorts of things. And I think, well, you know what, if I talk a lot and it gets a bit of a debate started, then I kind of think, well, why don't we get the debate started on here? I mean, that's exactly why I've got the channel in the first place, you know what I mean? So if you want to join in with the debate or anything like that, then feel free to leave some comments below. I tend to not reply to those who go, you're wrong and this is why, but I will, of course, read what people have to say, and we'll take it from there. Maybe dates, I don't know, I'm not into fruit. So yeah, and the idea behind this is that basically, as I'm recording this, I look on the news, we find out the latest topics and what's going on in the world, and we talk about them. It doesn't matter where the news is from, it doesn't matter what sort it is, there is no topic too taboo for this, honestly. So, drinks wise, let me fill you in first. I have got, I'm on vodka and flavoured water, which is going to sound really, really rank to some people, but I'm actually going to say, it's not that bad. This is just triple distilled vodka. It's from, and this will go on to the first thing, and if you know why I'm checking, you'll know exactly what I'm going to say in a minute. I actually can't see because of the lights on the thing. That's Ireland. Produced from grain. This doesn't actually say where it is from, and there is no back label. There is just one. They couldn't afford to put a back label on it. I presume this is from Ireland. It's produced for, but it doesn't say where it's produced from. But this is like really cheap vodka. That's basically what I'm drinking. This is vodka. $9.99 a bottle. So I was like, well, I was going to do it. But then when I got to checkout, it was £9.70. I think I was getting checked out by the fella that was on the tills, and he may have given me staff discount. I don't know how much staff discount is for Aldi. And then I'm drinking Asda's own sparkling water. I'm on kiwi and lime. So cheers, people. I've already had a little sip. The reason that I'm looking to see where the vodka is because it kind of ties in with where I'm going to go with this first. I mean, this isn't breaking news, and it is something that I've covered on the channel before, but I think there was a lot of questions left over from when I actually did the video, because not a lot of people knew or still indeed know about what is actually going on. There is something really serious that is going on in the world at the moment, and it's not something great. And some of you may well have read about Russia, and you may well know what's happening to the gay community over there. You may well have indeed seen the video on this channel. What's happening in Russia at the moment is beyond words. I mean, from a legal point of view, they've near enough made it illegal to be gay in the country. They have this whole idea that, you know, the gay people in the country want to recruit gays, and they have this whole system of how they're going to recruit, and gays are going to take over the world. I don't quite know what we would do if we took over the world. Probably make it a bit more fabulous. I don't know. But that's not the point here. They think that we have this agenda. They think they think the thoughts basically that most of the world thought back in the 1940s. And that's where they've kind of gone. They've made it illegal to hold hands. If you're gay, it's illegal to hold hands with your partner in public. Basically, any signs of affection towards the same sex in public is kind of illegal. And what these series of laws have done recently is to encourage these neo-Nazi groups to... I think one of the techniques that I saw was that they lure in gay people via social media, and when these gay people turn up thinking it's a genuine gay person that they're going off to meet, they are torturing these people. And this is only what gets to the news. You know, there are deaths over this. There was one not that long ago, and I can't remember where it was, but a man was found dead and he'd been violated with a bottle. You know, this is the world that we live in at the moment. I mean, I know it kind of sounds a little bit odd, the fact that we've, you know, fought for it and we've got it over here, but the United Kingdom not long passed the same-sex marriage bill, and we're all overjoyed about that. And you know what? And you're thinking, well, it's great that we now have the freedom to go out and get married to the person of the same sex if that's who we love. That's a great thing. But then you look at somewhere like Russia, and it does make you feel a little bit selfish. Well, it does me. I don't know about you guys, but it does me. I feel a little bit selfish because I'm thinking, well, you know, here's me celebrating. Yes, I've got the right to go and marry a person who I love, you know, regardless of sex now. But, you know, in Russia, these people in some cases are afraid to leave their own homes because they're frightened that they will either be followed, they will be tortured, they will be killed, whatever can happen. And this is something that I think that not only the media needs to pick on a little bit more, I think that the people who upload to YouTube, I think that we need to raise awareness of this, and we really need to get the story told of what is actually going on in Russia, because this isn't boiling down to gay rights. This is human rights. You know, when you're taking someone's life away from them, regardless of the reason behind it, it is human rights. You are taking their right away to live. It's human rights. And I think we need, especially in 2013, for fuck's sake, we need to be taking human rights like people should have them. And I'm not saying, you know, like North Korea, for example. You know, I'm not saying North Korea needs to change and they need to do this and they need to do that. But if North Korea is, it is, but it's taking away human rights from people. You know, it's imprisoning people that speak out against the government. And okay, that isn't really a new thing, but it's, you know, if they're taking human rights away from people, if they're killing people, it's a human rights issue. We need to be looking at that, you know? So what I'm going to do is the website that's called All Out are doing a petition about this. I urge you to go and sign the petition. If that's the least that you do on this, just go and do it. You don't have to share it on Facebook, you don't have to share it on Twitter, but so long as you do it, you know? Spread this video. But you know what? I mean, all joking aside, this is a really serious issue, and I think we need to be kind of picking up on this and actually doing something about it. Now, further on this topic, while we're on about it, is that a lot of people have been saying about boycotting. Hello. Can you tell this is my first? A lot of people have been on about boycotting Russian vodkas. Now, I can see where people are coming from with that. Okay, yeah, I can get it, because, you know, it's connected with Russia and they will pay taxes, and taxes go to the government, and we're basically funding the government to... Yeah, I can follow the chain on that. But with vodka, I mean, as you've seen, with this vodka, it doesn't actually say where it's from. You know, this could be from Ireland, it could be from Russia, it could be from anywhere, you know? It genuinely doesn't say. So that idea is flawed in that. Secondly, I buy vodka. I don't actually give a shit where it's from. If it's cheap and strong enough, I'm going to buy it. I don't care. And I think that not a lot of people actually go out and purposely buy Russian vodka. So how are you going to stop these people from buying Russian vodka when they weren't buying it in the first place? There was a funny incident that happened not that long back. I think it's within the last couple of days as well. That one of these bars in London said, we're all for gay rights and we won't serve Russian vodka. And everyone was like, oh, that's really good, that's amazing, that's solid, that's solidarity, that's really, I spilled my drink all over me. That's really good, that support, that is. Did they forget to mention that a little bit? They never actually stocked Russian vodka in the first place. I think they forgot to mention that. Yeah, slightly, a little bit, so it was awkward. Yeah, so there we go. So, like I said, the link is the all-out link below in the video description. Please just go and sign it. You know, it'll take you a couple of seconds, and if it's the least that you do, then great. If there are people who are watching this and they're going, well, signing a petition isn't really going to do much. I mean, would it have stopped Hitler? Signing a petition? Oh no, I don't want a second world war, and I think what you're doing to the Jewish people, in fact, I think what you're doing in the concentration camps to everyone is just completely evil. And, here's my postcode, and I've signed the petition. Would that have stopped Hitler? No. Okay, Hitler wouldn't have been brought down by a petition. But there are certain websites that can't be ignored. In the United Kingdom, we have one which is connected directly with Parliament. Like, it is an actual Parliament website, and you can do petitions on there, you can set them up yourself. If it reaches, I think it's 100,000 signatures, it automatically gets brought up in front of the government. They have to debate it. Like, that is the way that it goes. Or something has to be done about it, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so I don't think a petition is completely useless. Ideally, I would love for nothing more to happen than A, the Olympic Committee to turn around and go, actually, that's fucking wrong. We're not having the Olympics there while they're your laws. And just leave it at that. See what Russia does. Secondly, I would love to see nothing more than the big sponsors of the Olympics pull out. There we go. Because, I mean, okay, it's going to sound quite pathetic, but this is how I would go. If these big sponsors want to go and sponsor the Olympics in Russia with the laws that they've got, if they want to go and do that, that's fine. I won't have anything to do with their brand at all. And I do this with quite a couple of companies already. Like, don't say I'm bullshitting on this, because I will follow through on this. So Coca-Cola, I'll swap to Pepsi. I already prefer Pepsi anyway. I'm not a massive fan of Coke, but yeah, there we go. So Coca-Cola, I actually wouldn't miss. Procter & Gamble, well, there's other companies that make stuff, so there we go. I know that Procter & Gamble make loads and loads of shite, but you know, they do have some big brands, and I don't care. I will buy other stuff. You've got McDonald's. When I'm hungover, I actually prefer KFC anyway. So McDonald's, I can live without McDonald's. So you know what I'm saying with this, and I'm not the only one who feels like that. So I can boycott these big companies unless they turn round, and not only to the Olympic Committee, but to Russia as well, and say, do you know what, we're not sponsoring the Olympics while they're your laws. Unless you put the Olympics somewhere else, maybe. So there we go. There are ways around this. Personally, there are two things that I kind of want to say on this. First off, I think the government is absolutely despicable in Russia for not only putting this in, but some of the laws that they've got in already. I think it's absolutely disgusting, you know? I mean, Russia seriously needs change to happen. And I think that while this government is in power, while you've got this whole Putin, Poontang, whatever his fucking name is, it's not going to happen. We're not going to see massive change take place in the country while he's in some sort of power. Secondly on that, you know, if there are people who are watching this video in Russia, do you like my ranting? Isn't it good? Subscribe. If there are people watching this that are actually in Russia, then just know that the rest of the world is actually kind of slowly but surely, we are taking action on this. And, you know, we've got your backs, basically. That, you know, there is going to become a time in Russia when being gay is okay. When Russia will legally catch up with the rest of Europe and other countries around the world where marriage equality is, that sort of thing, you know? It will come to that eventually, but these things do take time. And until then, well, good luck. Because I don't actually think there is anything else to say on that. Okay, so let's have a look at some news then, shall we? Top news at the moment, for some reason. I think they must be desperate. I mean, I'm recording this at 4:15 in the morning. I think they're slightly desperate for some news. Financial struggles have worsened. Really? Really? Wasn't bad enough to start with. So the top part of this story is that more than half of the UK adults are struggling to keep up with bills and debt repayments. A major survey of people's finances suggests. I'm an adult that pays bills, and I wasn't involved in this survey. I'll just say that right now. I did a video not a million years ago on this channel that was about living on job seekers allowance, and I explained through my finances in that video, and like the budget and that sort of thing, and that's what I had to stick to. Now that I've gone over 25, that amount has automatically gone up, so I now live on the £71 something pence per week. In times like these, £71 a week to live on still isn't enough. You know, I think that, yes, it covers your bills, and I think when it comes to this winter, certainly, if I'm still unemployed, then I probably won't worry as much about putting the heating on. You know, not loads of people know about this, like people, family sort of thing. But there was actually a weekend in, I think it was January this year, and the UK got full of snow, and my electric ran out on the Friday. It was the Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, I think, and I was sat in the flat and I was absolutely freezing my arse off, and I thought, you know what, I can't live like this. I really can't live like this. So I rang my mum, and you know, my mum as well, she finds it hard to pay her bills, all that sort of thing, and she managed to send me across £10. So I was able to go and put £10 on the meter, which kind of got eaten away by the emergency credit. So by the Sunday, yeah, because Saturday night the heaters came on, and by Sunday I was back into the emergency credit again. Finances are a way to shit at the moment. They genuinely are. You know, as much as everyone these days, unless you are Richard Branson, but everyone these days tries to make their money go that extra little bit. You know, we always try and get more for our money, and money just seems to disappear from us. We don't really know where it goes. It's one of them, like, the electric bill never used to be that high, and it's completely stupid how it's going at the moment. I think there are things that can be changed that would help to improve people's finances. I think the first one, for the United Kingdom, probably not so much America, I'm not too sure where they stand on it at the moment, but certainly in the UK, a reduction on the price of petrol. And you guys go, how can they bring down the price of petrol? If you have a look at how much tax is on petrol, both diesel and unleaded and all that sort of stuff, have a look at how much tax is on it. Then you'll see why the government can actually do something about this. You know, if we brought down the price of petrol through basically a chain of events, it would bring down the cost of living. So follow my theory on this one, right? Okay, so company manufactures food, a food product, a potato. They make potatoes by hand. I'm waiting for this one to grow. Okay, so they make potatoes. To transport one potato, two potato, three, no. To transport one potato used to cost 50p, and that got it to the shop. Then the price of petrol went up, and although the cost of the potato still cost the same to make it, obviously the transport to the shop went up. So it then cost £1 to get it to the shop. Well, obviously, the factory isn't going to suffer that cost. The shop isn't going to suffer the cost. They pass it on to us. So we now pay like £1.20 for that potato. So if the price of petrol comes down, price of potato still the same. Transport in between, cost comes down. Big supermarket, cost comes down. See where I'm coming from with this? It would eventually work its way through to the people. Now, I know that there has been recently things like the wholesale price of petrol came down, and it made it like bloody front page news in the UK. Like, oh my god, the price of petrol's going to come down, and you're like, oh my, well, that's really good, and it's going to save us a bit of money, and it's going to be that good. Yeah, price of petrol was down for like 3 days, and then it slowly started creeping back up, and it's actually back up to what it was. Has the wholesale price gone up? I wonder. I don't actually think it has, but there we go. So profit margins, basically. So there we go. Yes, the finances can well be improved and should well be improved. That's where I stand on this one. 1 in 5 have taken drugs. Nearly 1 in 5 motorists has been under the influence of illegal or prescription drugs, a survey suggests. Motorists aside on this one, I think that this is something that does need talking about. In America, I think it's now 5 states. Is it 5 states in America or 4 that have legalized marijuana? Perfectly legal. The marijuana industry itself, there was an ex-manager of Microsoft, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's actually gone and set up a marijuana business, a genuine business. Now, he's looked into this, and it was illegal. He's looked into this. Now, he reckons that the industry is worth millions. Great. Over the moon for you. To me, I kind of like living on the streets, in the know. The drug industry is worth billions, and I'm talking serious money here. Like, it's worth so much money. Now, people are going to say, well, you can't base it on that. You can't say that because there are no official studies, there are no this, there's no that. Do you know what? Ask a couple of people if they take drugs. Chances are, probably not a lot of people are going to open... Sorry, I thought I saw a moth. Pardon me, it turns out I didn't. I just burped. Oh, now I see a burp. So, probably some people that will already be taking drugs, but will probably deny it to you. Then you've got the other people who do openly take drugs. You have, of course, got the people who don't take drugs, but whatever. The people who take drugs and are open about it, they're open about how much they pay for it. And, okay, maybe not so much where they get it from, but, when you kind of work out what they spend on it, and then you ask other people and what they spend on it and that sort of thing, you kind of get a bit of a figure on this. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on finances where drugs are concerned, but all I'm going to say on this is that there is a lot of money in drugs. It's money that could bring the UK out of a recession state. It could lower taxes. That's where we're at with this, and this is genuine, right? Not only that, but it could also end this whole black market that is around drugs at the moment, which does cost lives. I mean, if we're not bullshitting about this, it does cost lives. It costs lives because you get these people who are, that don't have loads of money, so they get into debt with it. Obviously, baseball bats come out and they're gone. It ends that because if you can go into a shop and buy it, you're going to go into the shop and buy it because the government, if they imported it in the amounts that they could actually get it quite cheap. I have looked into that. It could even be taxed at whatever rate, and the amount of money that it would still generate would bring in a lot of money for that government. So yeah, so you know, if you can go to a shop to buy it, why are you going to go to so and so down the road to buy it? Just get it from the shop. You know, there's no dodginess about it. There's no evilness behind it. It's just in the shop for you. A lot of people, when it comes to me saying make drugs legal, I know this from the video that I put up on this channel, but when it comes to saying about making drugs legal, a lot of people will say they shouldn't be legal, and it's like, well, okay, why should it not be legal? And people go, well, you get addicted to it. What can you buy in the shop? Sorry, because you can't get addicted. Oh no, you can. So why is that okay? But drugs. See where I'm going on with that? So that shuts a lot of people up, because they're like, actually, yeah, this my argument flawed. A lot of people will say it causes deaths. This, well, not this one, but this vodka causes more deaths per year than all drugs put together. And that's a genuine statistic. So keeping it illegal because it costs lives, I think I've got you again. There is loads of excuses, and yet each excuse that these people come up with as to keep them illegal, boom, 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 you can knock them down straight away. I'm yet to find a reason that makes me go, okay, yeah, you got a point. I'm yet to find one. And if you can think of one, and you're still watching, my god, how long's this video been? If you're still watching this, like, comment below, and, you know, come up with a reason. But think it through. You know, why should drugs stay illegal? From what I've managed to research on this, there is obviously quite a few different stories as to like who's done what in the past. But the reason that hemp and marijuana and all that shit, marijuana mainly, the reason that that's illegal dates back to the cotton trade, because hemp and marijuana and all that shit was actually outselling cotton. So the cotton industry was literally about to be crushed by the hemp industry. And there was a really clever guy, I can't remember his name, I'm not good with names, but he managed to persuade one of the governments, and he was like, make it illegal. So they did. They made it illegal. And to this day, that is still the same reason it remains illegal. And I don't really use that much cotton anyway. I think I have some cotton buds, but I'd much prefer to set them on fire if they were hemp. So yeah, so that's why. Other drugs, I think it could be anything. It literally could be any reason, you know. There's one at the moment which I've been looking at, and part of me is actually a little bit tempted to do it, but it's called Salvia. And it's spelled Salvia. My mum innocently, and I think quite a lot of people innocently, grew it at home, not knowing it's a drug. Isn't that clever? Basically, with Salvia, it is legal, completely legal to smoke Salvia. The reason that it stays legal is because all of these big scientists that are eventually going to say make it illegal are doing tests on it. So they can't actually say at the moment, well, this is why it should be illegal, because they're still doing the tests about it. Now, if the government at the moment was to make it illegal, it's going to stop all this research on it. So scientists are kind of in a battle with governments, and they're saying, keep it legal. Or, that's why. So yeah, so Salvia is, I don't know what it's kind of classed as, but if you take it, you would smoke it, and you would inhale once, and this is how fast Salvia acts, right? And there are videos of this on YouTube to back it up. Salvia acts, you take it in like you would take in a cigarette. When you blow it out and you take in your next breath, you're under. That's how fast this shit acts. Depending on the strength of the Salvia, depending on how long it's been in you and all this sort of stuff, you will be on a trip for anything from 30 seconds a minute to 10, 15 minutes, and you are completely gone. It's the same as a lot of pills, that kind of stuff. You either have a bad trip or you have a good trip, or maybe mediocre. There are videos of bad trips, there are videos of good trips that people have had. It's a drug. You take a chance when you take it. It's the same as vodka. I've had bad nights on vodka, I've had good nights on vodka. I've had some pretty amazing nights on vodka. But I mean, that's the thing though. You know, this is why drugs should be legal and available in shops, because you know what, if I want to go and buy vodka, I can go and buy vodka. I mean, okay, yes, I'm probably going to get ID'd, and they want to make sure I'm over 18, because obviously I look under 18. But this is the whole thing. You know, okay, why can I go and buy this, but I can't go and buy speed? Why not? You know, this is, I think I'm actually classed as pro-choice when it comes to this topic, but that's exactly where I stand. You know, that's just how I feel about this kind of stuff. Right, any other interesting news? US embassies to shut over threat. There is actually a video that I want to make about America, because I have some thoughts, and they're not going to be popular thoughts. I will tell you that right now. But I don't know. My brain seems to be thinking I'm onto something, so I will probably be making a video about that quite soon. I've managed 31.5 minutes. Fuck me, that's incredible. Well, bottoms up, people. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've not learned anything. And yeah, I don't know, I'm not sticking to a regular thing with these because I don't get drunk that often. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching, so thank you very much for watching, and see you later.